Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've been doing well. Today's video is the first one of this kind that I've ever done. When I started this year in January, I actually created a spreadsheet and I listed every single handbag I had, and every time I used one of my designer handbags, I would mark the date and the event that I used it for and which handbag I used. So this way I was able to keep track of every single time I used a luxury handbag. I didn't keep track of the non-designer bags I carried, or sometimes I'll just carry like a really simple canvas tote bag from somewhere just to run errands. So I didn't track those bags, but any of the more expensive bags that I have, I definitely would mark down. And so then through the spreadsheet, it was really easy to see which of the bags I used the most and which I did not. And so this video will be showing you which of the 10 bags I used the most. And quite honestly, I was a little bit surprised. I would say the top three, I was not surprised at all, but from 4 to 10, I was a little bit surprised to see which bags made the cut and which didn't. The other thing about this is that obviously it's not perfect. While I was actually very diligent and I tracked every single time I used a bag, this data isn't really reflective of either how much I love the bag. Some bags are obviously more emotionally meaningful to me than other bags, but this is purely just about use. So how many times I've used the bag. The other thing too is that I know we're still in the middle of December, so there are a few bags that I will still end up using this week, but I think this might be my last video of the year because I'm actually going to visit my parents this upcoming weekend, and I will be down there for the rest of the year. So, and obviously when I'm with my parents, I do use handbags occasionally, but just honestly not quite as much. And most of the time I will borrow one of my mom's handbags while I'm down there. So I do feel like this will be fairly accurate, although not 100%. And the most used handbags are usually the ones that I carry to work. And I will be going to the office at least once or twice this week. So I think the actual number of times I will have used these bags will go up slightly, especially for the top first and second bag. I really don't think this final week in San Francisco is going to move the needle for any of the bags that I've used. So just a little caveat there. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I do have my notes right here, which I just copied from the spreadsheet. So rather than have my computer in front of me, this was much easier just to have everything written down in a list form. So I'm gonna go from 10 all the way up to 1. So number 1 will be the bag I have used the most often this year. And so coming in at 10th place is this bag right here. And this is the Givenchy Pandora bag, and this is in the medium size. This is probably one of my oldest handbags, to be honest, and I was a little bit surprised this bag had made the cut. When I first got this bag in like 20, gosh, it's been at least like 10 years maybe, so probably 2011 or 2012ish is when I got this bag. I use this all the time. This was my go-to work bag. Like I use this so often. But you know, in the past 10 years, my bag collection has changed and grown a lot. I've still held on to this bag, so I still really do like it. And kind of just made me inspired to bring this bag out a little bit more. So maybe this bag will continue to get some more use next year as well. So I have used this bag a total of 7 times, which I know in the span of an entire year is not very much at all. But that being said, I do have a lot of bags, and I think you will see as the numbers creep up that there are certainly bags that I've used a lot more. And the other thing is tying at this bag with another 7 uses was actually my Celine Cabas tote, which I did let go of fairly recently. I really did like that bag. I really liked that it was just an easy grab and go tote. But I will say that I noticed that the straps were really thin and I felt like they were starting to dig into my shoulder and it just became kind of uncomfortable. So for that reason, I decided to let it go, especially since I do have a lot of other totes that I like and can use very frequently as well. So 7 and 7. So this is number 10, and then tying for that was also the Celine Cabas tote. Coming in at number 9 with a total of 8 uses was this Prada Raffia bag right here. And I did get this fairly recently. I think I got this in August. It was right before my trip to Hawaii, and I use this every single day in Hawaii, and I absolutely love this bag. I think it is the perfect beach tote. It's the perfect pool bag. It's just perfect for summer. And I think this would even be a great bag to take to the farmer's market if you needed to carry some produce home with you. And you know, I just think it would look really cute with some fruit and then throwing in some flowers or something like that. It's just a great Sunday market tote if you have a farmer's market near you as well. So still really like this bag and excited to use this bag more often. I will say for me personally, it is certainly more of a vacation style tote, but I do think that this would be a great everyday bag as well. Coming in at number 8 is this Marc Jacobs traveler tote bag, and this is in the large size. Are you guys seeing a theme here with the color blue? I just really love these kinds of shades of blue, and I just really gravitate towards them. So anyway, this is a really great size tote, and I think having this made me realize that this can fit a little bit more than this Lean Cabas tote I had, and it was a much more comfortable carry, and so it didn't really make sense to have both in my collection. I just really love this canvas and how sturdy it is. This is a great bag to have if you find yourself needing one kind of in this size range. And this bag I used a total of 9 times. Next up, coming at number 7, is my Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis, and this is in the Empreinte Noir. This is actually one of the first bags I ever did a YouTube video on, like 3 years ago, I think it's been, that I've been on YouTube. And I remember watching countless videos on this bag because I was just so obsessed with it. And I really think that this bag was kind of my gateway into YouTube. I had sort of watched YouTube before, but it was really this bag coming out and me trying to do so much research on this bag that really got me into this YouTube community. So for that reason, I do sort of feel like a little bit of emotional tie to this bag because it does kind of symbolize YouTube for me. That being said, I was also, again, very surprised to see this bag make the top 10. I think for some reason when I was looking back in this year, just in my head, I just didn't think I had used this bag as much as I actually did. I don't remember which video it is, but there is a previous video where I do mention that I'm actually not 100% sure that this is going to be a forever bag for me. I still really like it a lot, but I just didn't think I was reaching for it as much as I did. But I mean, the data doesn't lie. I think this is what's helpful about actually tracking every single time I use a bag, is that I could see that like I did use this bag a lot and it did come into my top 10. So I used this bag a total of 13 times. Now, again, like as I'm saying these numbers aloud, I do realize that 13, 7, 8, 9 times to use a bag in 1 year is certainly not a lot at all. And that is also like very eye-opening for me. I think for me personally, there have been a few factors on this. One is the fact that now I only go into the office twice a week versus pre-pandemic I would go in 5 days a week. And on top of that, the days that I do stay at home, I don't really use my handbags that much. So it has been kind of eye-opening to see the data and the numbers. I'm actually not really quite sure if this is going to change the way that I purchase. It might. I need to think about that a little bit more in the next couple weeks. I think the other thing that's interesting about this little experiment is also just realizing that there are a lot of bags that I added to my collection this year, especially in like third or fourth quarter, didn't make the top 10 just because I started this list on January 1st, right? And so obviously the bags that I've had for a longer amount of time will have had a chance to have gotten used so much more. So I think that's also been interesting as well. But anyway, I used this bag 13 times. I definitely took it to New York with me a few times, and I think that really helped get its numbers up. It is still a really great bag, but I think I am falling a little bit out of love with Louis Vuitton, and so I think that's why I was also surprised that this bag had made the top 10. So anyway, here it is again, the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis in the Empreinte Noir. Coming in at number 6 is this little cutie right here. This is the Bottega Veneta Mini Arco bag, and I absolutely fell in love with this bag when I went to Scandinavia, and I purchased this in Copenhagen, and I think this is just so cute. I think it's very underrated. I don't really see this bag that often in the wild, which I think is another draw for me. And this patent leather, this shiny patent leather, is just so gorgeous. I'm going to try to angle it to the light so you guys can see it a little bit better. And yeah, there's just something about this bag that I absolutely love. I also just love that there's like no branding whatsoever. So if you are not a designer lover, if you don't know handbags, there's a really good chance you might not know that this is a Bottega handbag. So that's another reason why I do like this bag. So I have used this bag a total of 14 times since I owned it. And that was in the middle of this year. Coming in at number 5 is this Lane box bag. Yes, I have another blue bag, and I used this bag for a total of 15 times. I did get this bag midway through the year, so the fact that it made the top 10, despite having it for less than a year, definitely shows you how much I love this bag. And I got this pre-loved from Fashionphile at an amazing price. Still really love this bag. I think it's fantastic, and the color is just perfection to me. Now, I think from here on out, we are all moving towards bags that I have owned for more than a year. So I think this will be a little bit more reflective of how much I've used these bags. So coming in at number 4 is the Loewe basket bag. And this I used for a total of 15 times. To me, this is a perfect vacation bag. I've taken this to Vegas. I've taken this to Hawaii. It's just such a perfect summery raffia tote, and I do really like this a lot. Okay, finally we have the last 3 bags, and these are the workhorses. These are the bags I take to the office. office on a regular basis. These are the best kind of everyday bags I have. So coming in at number 3 is this bag right here, and this is the Marc Jacobs Director Tote. And this is a bag that I often take with me to the office. This is a bag that I usually take to work when I feel like it's going to be kind of rainy, or in a situation where it just matches my outfit better. This is the bag I will take. And so I use this bag a total of 21 times. This is just a really, really great work bag. I think it's very low key, but also very, very practical and can fit everything you need for a day at the office. I have this little Hello Kitty charm on here that I picked up in Japan recently, and I just thought it was so cute. I know it's very blingy, but I really like it. So I just wanted to give it a little bit of pop right there. So there's the charm. But yeah, this has just been a really, really great everyday bag, especially for the office. Coming in at number 2 is this bag right here, and this is the Gucci crossbody bag. I have talked about this bag many times. It's certainly one of my oldest designer handbags. I used this a total of 39 times this year. And even though it is definitely seen better days, it's definitely getting worn at the top right here and on the back. You can see that there is quite a bit of wear. I just think that this canvas, this coated canvas from Gucci is like so amazing. And this is definitely a bag that I take traveling a lot. So it's good for rainy days. It can fit a ton. It's just a perfect crossbody bag for travel for me personally. So this Gucci crossbody is coming in at number 2 with a total of 39 uses. And finally, this should absolutely come as no surprise to anyone, but the Chloe Woody tote in the medium size right here is my number 1 used handbag of this year. This is the bag that I carry to work most days. So I've used this bag a total of 63 times this past year. It's currently stuffed with all my work items. I have done many videos on this bag. I have talked about how much I adore this bag. So it should be no shock to anyone that this is coming in at number 1. And it's interesting because I do really feel like, as much as I love this bag, I do feel like there are other bags that make my heart sing more, but they're just not practical. And this is a bag that I feel like is just so practical. It still looks really great. And because I go to the office twice a week, this is the bag that I reach for the most. It makes sense that this would be my most used bag.
Hey guys, just a really quick note. I realized that while I was editing, I completely forgot the data to show you exactly how many times I had used the bags in total. So if we were adding up every single time I used all the top bags that I mentioned in this video, it actually adds up to 212 times. So I was a little concerned as I was filming, and I was kind of like, oh wow, like 7 times used for this bag, 8 times used for this bag, and it made the top 10. That felt a little weird to me, but when I actually added them all up together and realized that it was 212 days, which is more than half the year, I felt a lot better about that. And I realized when you look at the data from a bigger perspective, it makes a lot more sense. And then when I looked at how many times I had used the bags total, and this is my entire collection, including the bags that didn't make this video, it was a total of 280. So I just thought I would share that information in case anyone was interested. All right, thanks.
So that is it. That is the video. I thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this. I would be so curious to know if there are any surprises for you. I would also really love to know what your most used handbag of 2022 is. So if you feel like sharing that, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I don't know that I will have another video to post in time before the end of the year. So in case I don't, I just want to go ahead and say happy holidays. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos, subscribing, liking these videos. It really means the world to me, and it just keeps me motivated to continue doing more videos for you guys. So thank you guys so much. If there's anything in particular that you'd like to see for my channel next year, definitely let me know as well. And with that, I will just say happy holidays, happy new year. See you guys in 2023. Take care. Bye.